So welcome to all of you, and today I will discuss WordNet and word sense disambiguation, and also we will see that how WordNet and NLTK, that is Natural Language Toolkit, help for disambiguate any word sense. So first of all, we will discuss about WordNet. It is arranged semantically, whereas in traditional dictionary, the words are arranged in alphabetical only. So in dictionary, all words are arranged in alphabetical order. So there is no relationship between words. But in WordNet, all words are connected to each other. Little later, we will see what are the different types of relationship between the words. But for now, we just understand that it is a semantically relationship between the words. And we can say that it is a electronic database for noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. So in WordNet, it stores only the open words in the part of speech. It will not store any closed words or stop words. So what are the different types of the open words? There are 4 different types of the open words. That is noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. WordNet is lexical database for English language, which are created by Princeton and is a part of NLTK corpus. Also, we can say that it is a machine-readable database of words which can be accessed of any programming language like Python, C, C++, Java, Ruby, Python, and many more. It is also stored the assemblies of thesaurus, that words group together based on their meaning. But if we say that how WordNet is not like traditional dictionary, that is in WordNet focus on the relationship between the words, whereas in dictionary it is not like that. Along with their definition, and this makes a WordNet a network instead of list. NLTK include English WordNet with 1,55,287 words and 1,017,659 synonym set. The first version of WordNet, a standard version, that is known as 1.7, and here almost 1 lakh nouns arranged in almost 74,448 synset, and 10,860 verbs are arranged in 12,754 synset, and 21,365 adjectives in 18,523 synsets, and 483 adverb in 3612 synsets. So here you can see that in WordNet it stores noun, verb, adjective as well as adverb. It is not stored any function word like for, the, and, etc. and because it is not defined in the WordNet. Now, each synset has an associated definition or clause. This consists of short entry explaining the meaning of the concept represented by the synset. The clause of the synset, base and alkali, is any of various water-soluble compounds capable of turning litmus blue and reacting with an acid to form a salt and water. While that associated with basis, base, foundation, fundament, groundwork, cornerstone is lowest support of the structure. So here you can observe that here I have taken two synsets and each synset having more than one word, it may be possible, and each synset have one set of words that represent the meaning of this synset and group of words. Each synset can also be referred to a unique identifier and commonly known as a sense tag. Now, as I told earlier, the WordNet network is the having connection between all the words by linguistic relation. So what are the different types of linguistic relation? That is hypernym, hyponym, meronym, holonym, and other fancy sounding stuff. And that give you powerful capability that are missing in ordinary dictionary or thesaurus. So now we will see what is synonyms. WordNet stores synonyms in the form of synset where each word in the synset share the same meaning. Basically, each synset is a group of synonyms and each synset has a definition associated with it. Relations are stored between different synsets. In the following example, take the word sofa. We have only one synset for sofa, which means that it has only one context or meaning. Another word like Jupiter will give two synsets because it has two meanings, one as a planet and the other as a Roman god. So synonyms words are grouped together to form a synonym set, and in short it is known as synset. Now comes to the next part that is known as polysemy words. A word is polysemous if it occurs in several synsets, where each synset represents a possible sense of the word. So what I am saying, a word is polysemous if it occurs in several synsets. So in the same word, if it present in different synset, then we can say that it is a polysemous word. For example, here I have taken one word that is known as base. It occurs three synsets, two in noun synset and one in the verb synset. That is, here it is mentioned that base and alkali, and base is base, foundation, fundament, groundwork, and cornerstone are. So here these two synset represent as a noun synset, and in the verb synset that is establish, base, ground, and found that represent in the verb synsets. Now, with the help of some Python code, we will try to understand something more about the synset, and for using synset First of all, we have to use NLTK command, and the full form is that is known as Natural Language Toolkit. So here you write from nltk.corpus import wordnet as wn. Now wn represent as a alias of the wordnet. So wn.synsets, it is one of the function defined in this class that is known as wordnet. So here it is mentioned that I have passed one argument as a word, and in this argument I have passed sofa. So automatically it display synset sofa. It is a noun synset and it belongs to 0, 1. That is the first point number. And if you write it syns another argument equal to wn and Jupiter, then it gives two synset, one in another Jupiter, and here it is the 0, 1 and 0, 2. Now, if I want to find out that print synset 0.lemma or 0.name, it means that here if I want the first argument and name of this value, that it displays the Jupiter. And definition of the first synset, suppose if I want to find out the definition of this first synset, or we can say that if I want to find out the glosses of this Jupiter, then it is written here that is synset 0 dot definition, the largest planet and the fifth from the sun, has many satellites and is one of the brightest objects in the night sky. But if I will find out this word that is Jupiter, then you have to write it like that, and here it is that is mentioned that Roman mythology, that is supreme god of Romans, counterpart of the Greek Jesus. So what we have understand in this slides, that for generating any word or meaning of this word, we have to use synset, and for the synset we require NLTK corpus. And in this synset, the meaning as well as the part of the speech is also mentioned, as well as the glosses is also mentioned in each synset. Now we comes to the second relationship that is known as hyponym and hypernym. So in hyponym and hyponym, are a specific and generalized concept of respectively. So if synset A is a kind of synset B, then A is the hyponym of B and B is the hypernym of A. So maybe this definition is little bit confusion. So with the help of one example, we try to understand the exact meaning of hyponym and hypernym. For example, if I will take three words, one is house and another is that is known as guest house and beach house. So with the help of one slide, we try to understand that one, it is here, it is a house, and in this house, two relationship, two part. One is beach house and another it is known as guest house. So this beach house as well as guest house represent as a specific concept of house, and this house represent as a general concept. So this beach house and guest house represent as a hyponym, and house represent as a hypernym of these two, because it is a general. I will take another example, that is egg noodle is the hyponym of noodle and pasta is the hypernym of noodle. And if I will take another very simple example so that also you can understand MBBS. So here if you divide them into two parts, one is MS and another is that is MD, or you can say that it is a doctor. So what we have understand that doctor is a general term and MS and MD are the special terms. So here MS and MD represent as a hyponym of doctor and doctor represent as a hypernym of MS and MD. I think you clear about all these words. And suppose if I want to find out the hyponym and hypernym of the word, then also with the help of this command you can find out, because we know that in WordNet the relationship, all the different words are mentioned there. So how you can find out? With the help of wordnet.synset noodle.n.01 and hyponym, then it will give the output of synset, egg, noodle, and this one. Here we try to find out the hyponym, specialized. And suppose if we try to find out hypernym of this noodle, then it is known as pasta. So here in this slide, you can mention that is pasta, then it is noodle, and after that it is egg noodle. Right. So here egg noodle is the hyponym of noodle. Noodle is the hyponym of pasta. Pasta is the hypernym of noodle. Noodle is the hypernym of egg, like that. And suppose if I want to find out the definition or glosses of egg noodle, then it is mentioned that narrow strip of pasta top made with eggs. Just try to understand that it is also mentioned. And if you try to find out pasta, A dish that contains pasta as its main ingredient. It may be some more ingredient is possible. Maybe more ingredient is possible, but one of them is maybe another ingredient is possible. Maybe some vegetable noodle you can put down from here. Now we come to the next relationship that is known as meronym and holonym. So meronym and holonym represent as a part and whole relationship. Meronym represent the part and holonym represent as a whole. A synset of meronym of synset of B is A is a part of B, and conversely B is holonym of B, and we can say that B has A as a part. For example, kitchen is a meronym of home because in home, kitchen, bedroom, and other thing is attached. So we can say that kitchen is the meronym of home because kitchen is the part of home. Mattress is a meronym of bed, and bedroom is the holonym of bed. Also, with the help of these two commands, you can find out holonym and meronym of each word. Now comes to the next relationship. Till now we had seen relationship between the nouns word, but now we will see relationship between the verb words. For example, hypernym and troponym. So verbs are related through the relation hypernym and troponym. Synset A is the hypernym of B. B is one way to A. B is then the troponym of A. Thus, the verb synset station, post, base, send, place is the troponym of move and displace. Since the station, post, base, send, place is one way to move, displace. Now comes to the relationship between adjective also. And one of the few relationship of the adjective is attribute and relate an adjective to a noun. For example, the attribute of beautiful is the noun beauty, and this is an unusual relationship in that it crosses part of the speech boundary to connect an adjective synset with a noun synset. Next comes to the relationship that is known as entailment. An entailment is an implication. For example, looking implied seeing. Buying implied choosing and paying. We can find entailment as seen that here we are talking about that some behavior pattern. So if we want to find out listen, entailment of the word listen, this listen is only possible if you try to hear it. Similarly, if I want to find out entailment of the word look, then it must be seen. And similarly for entailment for the word buy, then it must be choose. Also, if you try to find out the distance between these two words, so with the help of this wordnet also you can find out, and that is possible with the word of path similarity or word similarity one command is there, and it will find out the distance between these two words. So here, with the help of one example, if I want to find out the distance between dog and cat, then it is mentioned at 0.2. And the distance between phone and computer, then it is 0.14, and phone and cat, it is the distance is 0.0625. Next, why we are discussing lot of, and we have seen lot of things related to WordNet, because with the help of this WordNet, we try to disambiguate or find out meaningful meaning of the ambiguous word, and that is known as word sense disambiguation. Now, what is word sense disambiguation? That in any textual data, word have multiple meanings, or you can say that it contains the multiple words, contains the multiple sense set. Then it generate multiple meaning, because have each sense set having different clauses. So here I will take one example so that you can very easy to understand the word that is known as bass. So the one meaning of the bass, it is a type of fish. Second is the tone of low frequency. And the third is that is the type of instrument. So suppose if I will try to write two sentences, I went fishing for some sea bass. The bass line of the song is too weak. To a human, it is very easy to understand that in the first sentence, we are talking about the fish, and in the second sentence, we are talking about the instrument. But for the machine, it is very difficult to replicate the human ability, and that's why it is a difficult task to disambiguate this thing. So for solving this type of problem, we apply different approach, and the first approach, it is known as knowledge-based approach. The sense of a word is a way to identify how we can use given word by associating with definition. The ambiguity problem comes in how does a computer know and how to treat a given input when each one has a number of different sense, and some of which have wildly different connotation and uses. So the first approach, it is known as LESK approach, and in the LESK approach, here is try to find out the meaning of ambiguous word with the help of some context word. So how to find out? We will see little later, but here these are the different approach. That is LESK approach. It is developed by LESK in 1986. After that, in 2000, Kilgraph some modified, and it is used by Simple LESK. Banerjee 2003 and 2, and in 2002 and 3, it changed the database, and that is known as adapted less. And then in 2014, this less is extended with embedding approach. So in 1986, the definition of clause and each sense of word in phrase is compared to the clause of every other word in the phrase. Here it tried to find out the sense which exactly match or maximum overlap between clauses of target word and context word. Here the target word means that the ambiguous word, and for checking overlapping used machine readable Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary. Then current. So with the help of this example, we try to understand if we write here import less file and sense bus, then it gives multiple meaning. And if we write here, I went fishing for some sea bass, bass n, then it generate bass n08, that is non-technical name for any numerous edible marine and fresher spin. But the bass line of the song is too weak, and if it is past this lemma as, then it generates the first meaning, and here the having and denote low vocal or range. But if I will write here, Aswai Cohen is an Israeli jazz musician. He plays a double bass and is also a composer, split bass, POS now, then she underscore bass and 01. It is mentioned. So in the above example, the first and second sentence, the less algorithm is somewhat accurate in understanding the context of the word bass. But in the third sentence, where the bass is in the context of musical instrument, here we are discussing about the bass is the musical instrument, but it derive represent as a C bass, so it is wrongly disambiguated. So we face two problems in less algorithm. One is the complexity, and the second problem that is known as definition expressiveness. The overlap, the complexity, the number of comparison increases combinatorily with the number of words in a text, and the overlap is based only on the word co-occurrence in the clauses. So what is the meaning, or what is the exact problem in the less algorithm? In the first point, it is discussed that if the more number of words is there, then the number of comparison it is increasing, and it will generate lot of complexity. And second, it is that is known as definition or expressiveness, that is the overlap is based only on the word co-occurrence that is in the clauses. So the first problem, that is number of comparison, it is reduced by simplified version of the less algorithm, and here he disambiguated each word separately. Given a word, the meaning clause shows the maximum overlap with the current context represented by the surrounding words selected. And the second problem was solved by Banerjee and Pedersen in 2002, who proposed an adapted less algorithm. The adapted variation exploit relationship among meaning. Each clauses is extended by the definition of semantically related meaning. Banerjee and Pedersen adopt WordNet as a semantic network, and their algorithm take into the account of several relations. So these two problems, one is talking about the number of words, and another if the word must, if not word, certain word is not, the overlap is only based on the clauses. The first problem is solved by the distinguish each word separately, and the second problem you can take. Here we are not comparing depend on the clauses, but here we are taking WordNet instead of clauses. So in Kilgraph 2000 Sense Evaluation 1 standard dataset used for finding ambiguity, and it used gold standard that manually annotated data, and two different types of work can be accomplished. One is all words and the second one is lexical sample. So what is the difference between them? In all word system, had to disambiguate all words, whereas in lexical sample, first a sample of words is selected and system disambiguate only the sample words. Now again, I will try to give some more concentration. Word sense disambiguation try to solve two different types of the problem. If in a single sentence only one word are ambiguous, then it is known as lexical sample. And if in a particular sentence more than one word are ambiguous, then such type of problem it is known as all words problem. So what are the different steps taken by Kilgraph, and it is known as simple less algorithm? First of all, for each sense S of that word, set weight 0. Identify set of unique words W in the surrounding sentence, and for each word W in and each sense S of the word to be tagged. If W occur in the definition or example sentence of S, add weight W to weight S and choose the sense of the greatest weight. Weight W is defined as the inverse document frequency of the word W over the definition and example sentence in the dictionary. And the content word, if any content word IDF is high, then we can nominate. Now next is that is known as adapted less, that was developed by Banerjee in 2002. Here, when author used WordNet instead of dictionary, and I had already explained the lot details about the WordNet. It is a lexical database. If he apply sense evaluation 2 and get accuracy up to 32%, it compared the glosses of words that are related to the words to be disambiguated and introduced a novel scoring mechanism that made longer sequence of the match more heavily than the single words. Modify less basic approach to take advantage of the highly interconnected set of relation among synonyms and WordNet offer, while less algorithm restrict its comparison to the clauses of the words being disambiguated. Our approach is able to compare the clauses of words that are related to the words to be disambiguated. This provides a richer source of information and improve overall disambiguation accuracy. Now comes to the extended glosses. Again, it is developed by Banerjee in 2003, and here it is measure two concept represented by two WordNets in set and output a numeric value that quantifies their degree of symmetry. The idea of an extended set of comparison when measuring the relatedness between two inputs in set, we not only look for overlap between the clauses of those in set, but also between the clauses of hypernymy, hyponyme, meronyme, holonyme, troponyms in set of the inputs in set, as well as between synset related to the input synset through the relationship of the attribute. So if we in extended gloss overlap measure compute the relatedness between two input synset A and B by comparing the glosses of synset that are related to A and B through explicit relation provided in WordNet. So relatedness A and B is equal to a score gloss A and gloss B plus a score hyphen A and hype B score hypo A hypo B score hype gloss B score gloss and hype B, like that. Now the most probably last important algorithm that is known as LESS, and that was developed in 2014 by Beside, and here it used distributed semantic space that is known as DSS. And here BabelNet is very large semantic network built for exploiting both WordNet and Wikipedia. Semantic or word space are geometrical space of words where vector express concept and their proximity is a measure of semantic relatedness. Building a word space involves the definition of a distribution model, and that is a quadruple consists of the space, basis, word vector, and dimension. The function that takes into account word co-occurrence and how these are represented in the final vector. A similarity function defined over vectors, and eventually a map that transforms the vector space. Apply DSM to WHD for compute the overlap between the clause of the meaning and the context as a similarity measure between their corresponding vector representation in a semantic space. So in this paper, Vesile built a semantic space that is known as co-occurrence matrix by analyzing the distribution of words in a large corpus. Then M is, that is co-occurrence matrix, is reduced using a latent semantic analysis, and in short form that is LSA, that was developed by Lander in 1997. LSA collect the text data in a co-occurrence matrix, which is then decomposed into a smaller matrices with singular value decomposition. Hence, LSA represent high dimensional vectors into a lower dimensional space while capturing later semantic structure in the text data. This algorithm is based upon the 5 different steps, that is lookup, building the context, gloss expansion, building semantic vector, and select the correct meaning. So lookup, that is find out the different words, and there in second step build the context of these words. Also we try to expand the glosses, and then basis of these words we try to build semantic vector. And if we try to find out exact meaning, then we have to find out which word is having very less distance to the context word, and that is known as selecting the correct. These are the reference we are used in making this presentation. All reference is equal importance, that is from less that was developed in 1986. The paper title is Automatic Sense Distinguishing Using Machine Readable Dictionary, How to Tell a Pine Cone from an Ice Cream Cone. The second important paper, that is written by Banerjee S. and T. Pedersen in 2002 and 3, that is the next version of the LESS, that is adapted LESS and extended gloss. The fourth important paper, that is written by Basile in 2004, and the title is that is an enhanced LESS word sense disambiguation algorithm through a distributional semantic model. Also, we had used two different types of WordNet. One is the WordNet that is developed by C. Alabama in 1998, and another it is BabelNet that was developed by Robert Navigli and et al. In 2012. So thank you very much for giving me time and listen carefully. Thank you very much.